All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about AI for teachers, but not in some abstract theoretical way. Nope. We're going to lay out a super practical path, something that takes AI from this giant fuzzy concept and plugs it straight into your classroom.
Okay, so take a look at this. This chart tells a really powerful story. UNESCO found that a whopping 60% of schools are already trying out AI. That's a lot. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Only 27% of teachers actually feel ready for it. See that space between the bars? That's the preparedness gap, and that's exactly what we need to tackle.
So that leads to the big question, right? How do you, as an educator, close that gap? How do you go from feeling maybe a little anxious or overwhelmed to feeling like you're in the driver's seat? Well, spoiler alert, it's not about finding one perfect app. It's about a journey, a step-by-step process.
All right, every good building needs a strong foundation, so let's start there. Before we even think about using AI in a lesson, we have to get a handle on what this stuff actually is. Where did it come from? This is the whole point of Module 1, building that solid AI foundation.
So first things first, let's get this out of the way. AI in education isn't some single all-knowing robot, not at all. It's much more like a toolbox filled with different adaptive tools. But look at the most important part of this definition. It's the part at the end. It says AI is shaped by teacher understanding and ethical practice. That means you're the one in control. You're the one driving. And these AI tools we're all talking about, they didn't just pop up overnight. I mean, look at this timeline. The whole idea goes way, way back to Alan Turing in 1950. The actual term, artificial intelligence, was coined in 1956. So this has been brewing for a long time. But the real earthquake moment, that was 2017. That's when something called the transformer architecture came out, and it completely changed the game for how machines process language. That's the secret sauce behind the tools you see today.
Okay, but with all this incredible power comes some really serious responsibility. We have to talk about ethics, and these 4 points, they are non-negotiable. We're talking about bias, data privacy, transparency, and accountability. If we ignore these, we could end up with tools that actually make things worse, not better. So think of these less as suggestions and more as guardrails. Absolutely essential guardrails.
Okay, so our foundation is poured. We know what AI is, where it came from, and the ethical rules of the road. Now it's time to get practical. We're moving from the what is it to the how do I use it. This is all about building your actual classroom toolkit, and we're going to pull from modules 2, 3, 4, and 5 to do it.
Now, the temptation is to just jump on the latest, coolest AI app, right? But we got to resist that. The smart way to do this is to follow a real professional workflow. And it's a cycle. Step 1, what do my students actually need? Start there. Step 2, then go look for a tool that fits that need. Step 3, design your lesson around it. And finally, step 4, weave it into how you assess and give feedback. It's a really deliberate process. And hey, the best part, you're not inventing the wheel here. We can lean on these incredible, well-established frameworks that teachers already use. You've got TPAC, which is all about balancing the tech, your teaching style, and the content. Then there's SAM-R, which is like a gut check. It asks, am I just using tech as a fancy substitute, or am I actually doing something new and transformative? And then you have UDL, Universal Design for Learning. That's your ethical compass, making sure whatever you choose works for all your students. No one gets left behind.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's not about the ooh, shiny factor of a new tool. It's about being thoughtful. It's about theory-informed mapping. That's a fancy way of saying, does this tool actually help me achieve my learning goals? Because that's what gets results, period.
Okay, so let's pull the camera back a bit. You've got AI working in your classroom. You're feeling confident? Awesome. But the journey doesn't stop at your classroom door. The next phase is about becoming a leader, about sparking this change across your whole school. And that brings us to our final module, leading school-wide innovation. Yeah, this is a big shift. You're moving from being a user of a tool to being an architect of change. And scaling up what works in your classroom for the whole school, that's a whole different ballgame. It takes strategic leadership and really knowing how to navigate change in a big organization. And just like before, there are playbooks for this. We don't have to guess. You've got models like Cotter's, which is all about creating energy and momentum, getting people excited and showing some quick wins. And then there's Rogers' model, which is more about the people side of things. It helps us understand how a new idea, like AI, actually moves through a group of people, like your school staff. So this chart breaks down what Rogers was talking about.
In any group, you're going to have a few people, the innovators, who are ready to try anything. Then you have your early adopters. The strategy is to work with those first two groups, help them succeed, and then their success stories will start to convince everybody else. Knowing who's in what category is totally key to making sure the change actually sticks.
So what are the actual action items for an AI leader? Well, here's a great checklist. You build teams. You run small, safe-to-fail pilot projects. You talk, communicate constantly to get ahead of any resistance. And at the same time, you're thinking about the big picture, money, policy. It's this full process that builds a culture where getting better isn't just a project. It's just how you do things.
So when you look back at the whole journey, it all connects. You start with the what in Module 1, building that foundation. Then you move to the how in Modules 2 through 5, building your personal classroom toolkit. And you finish with the why and who in Module 6, becoming a leader. It's a complete transformation, really. You go from someone who just uses tech to someone who strategically leads with it.
And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? At the end of the day, AI is a tool. That's all it is. It's no different than a pencil or a calculator or a hammer. So the question we have to leave you with is this. Now that you have this incredibly powerful tool, what are you going to build with it? How are you going to lead the charge in your school to shape what comes next?